Welcome back. So it's nice that we can actually log in now, but we would also like to be able to log out. And the first thing I want to do right here with the log out is just going to be a way for me to kind of remove the token with an extra button up here. And then we can go and make it dynamic later. So let's jump back to the code right here. And what we want to do is we want to go down to our app component right here. And I'm just going to, for now, create an extra link right here. So we have a login link and a logout link. So let's just add that right here, logout. Now I don't want the logout link actually to redirect me to anything. So I'll just make a small trick right here that I found where I can actually go in and say, I want to use the router link Angular code, meaning that I can start putting in actual code in here. That could be an if statement or something. I can use actual TypeScript code. Now what I want to pass in is just a blank array. And then what I want to do instead of the normal functionality of redirecting myself, I want to actually go and click. So that means that when I click the logout button, I want to execute some code. And the code I want to execute is just logout. There we go. So let's just create this code down here. And there we go. Now we have a logout function available inside the app component right here. In order to use that, we're going to need access to a constructor where we can pass in a private auth service right here. So we'll pass in auth, and it's going to be of the type auth service like this. Now we have the auth available, and then we just need some kind of login in the auth. So I'll say this.auth.logout. There we go. And just pass that in here. And we just need that method now in the auth service. So let's go down and create that method. And here we have the method. So all I want to do is just kind of say local storage dot remove item. And the item I want to remove is this JWT token like this. Now it seems I'm using the same name 3 times. So let's actually move that up here as a constant. So I'll just make a const right here and say JWT token equals, and then put it in there like this. And then I'll just reuse it throughout the code. So if I want to change the name at some point, it'll just be reused from that constant right there. There we go. So now we have that available. Sweet. Now we can save the token and remove the token. Let's actually go back. Our code is still complaining right here. That's just because it needs to recompile. Now we have the logout. And also it should be available here, the logout. Now the reason I put this in here, let me try and show you that. If we go back, you can see this is actually a logout button right now. So when I click that, I'm going to remove that token down there, meaning that I'm logged out. And then I can log in again to get the token back, like this. Now notice I'm not doing anything on the back end. We could change that later, but for now I actually have a way now to add the token or remove the token depending on if I'm logged in or I'm logged out. That's pretty neat. Now the reason I added this weird syntax right here with the router link is if I remove that now, you'll notice that the button disappears. So I cannot click it anymore the same way like I could before. It doesn't look like a link anymore. Now we'll change that later, but I just wanted to show you that small trick. If you want it to look like a link, you can just add a blank route in here like this, so saying we're not going anywhere when we click. Instead, we're going to just go to this specific route, and then you actually get it back to look like a real routing button right here. Again, it's not something that you have to do anything, but in the end, we're going to end up with a real toolbar up there, and then it doesn't matter anymore. But for now, it's a good way to kind of keep the link here. Now, of course, we shouldn't see both the login and the logout button all the time. So next lesson, we're going to try and figure out how we can change that so we don't see both buttons, and we can switch between them depending on if we're logged in or logged out. But again, this is a very simple way. Again, now we have a way to kind of log in right here, boom, and log out like this, boom. So happy days. We just created a bit more logic in our application. See you next time. Bye.